Jed Hoyer, president of baseball operations for the Chicago Cubs, he took over after Theo Epstein left, went on the radio this week and was talking about how he wanted to keep these guys long-term, that he tried to sign them long-term and extend them and stuff, but that essentially putting it on the players, that it was the players' fault that they wound up getting traded. Anthony Rizzo went on ESPN 1000 Chicago this week and said that that wasn't the case.
I've expressed, man, for 2, 3, 4 years how I really wanted to do a deal and get a deal done with the Cubs and stay there for life and be a player that basically has spent their whole franchise with one organization. So I think in spring training, when the deal, obviously at the time didn't even come close to happening, that's when I kind of hurt the most, and the writing was kind of on the wall that it was kind of going in a new direction. And I never let that hope. I mean, still how I feel. I love everything about Chicago, and it'll always be front and center on my heart.
You even had Kris Bryant talking about how proud he was to wear the Chicago uniform during the All-Star game when they had him mic'd up.
Right now I still got the Cubs in my chest, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud to play for such an unbelievable city, and until they tell me I'm not, I go out there and give it all I got.
You had Kyle Schwarber, who was non-tendered. They didn't offer him any. They cut him, essentially. He was left for anybody to pick up after last year. Look what Kyle Schwarber turned into before he got injured. He also sent out a message to Chicago after leaving, how upset he was and proud of the time that he spent while he was there. They even traded away Javy Baez. Baez, before being traded, talking openly about how much he wanted to play with Francisco Lindor.
Lindor siempre me ha gustado jugar con él desde el clásico. Es la única opción que tomaría para jugar segunda. Es para jugar con Lindor. Si no, me quedo en.
All these players that I just mentioned, Rizzo, Baez, Bryant, Kyle Schwarber, I can't remember the last time a team has unloaded like this. Like, these are all top-notch players, and I can't believe that they're gone. And now the Cubs are in rebuild mode. And this guy, Jed Hoyer, also claims that he's not doing what the Cubs did in 2012 when Theo Epstein blew it up for a couple years and then they won the championship, that this is going to be a fast rebuild. He thinks that they're going to be ready next year or whatever. I don't see it personally.
No, you're right. I don't ever remember a team unloading like this because, like I said, Anthony Rizzo, franchise player, probably is already top 10 Cub players of all time. Anthony Rizzo, I'm talking. Kris Bryant, MVP, Rookie of the Year. Javy Baez, you could argue whether or not he's overrated or rightly rated or whatever, but the guy at one point was like talked about in everybody's conversation. Look at the way this guy plays, like how great he is at defense. You could put him anywhere in the infield, on the cover of MLB The Show. So yeah, I don't ever remember a team unloading like this. I'm happy it happened though, because it did make it exciting. I feel like MLB was competing with the NBA for headlines in terms of trades. My thoughts on the Cubs and Hoyer is that, yeah, you're not hot for throwing them under the bus like that. But just because we've been watching this sport for so many years and other sports, between what he said and what the player said, there's the truth lies somewhere in between. So even though I believe Anthony Rizzo did want to be a Cub for life, maybe, I don't think Kris Bryant wanted to be a Cub for life. Maybe Javy Baez didn't want to be a Cub for life, and maybe they did. I'm just saying the truth probably lies somewhere in between both of that. And he said that when we do finally get that information, I don't know if it's already out there. I didn't really look into it. He said that the extensions that we offered would measure up well in the open market. So we'll see what these players end up signing or what they end up doing with their careers, and then maybe we'll compare to what they were being offered at the time of extension talks.
And Anthony Rizzo, I think all three of them are free agents at the end of this year. If they're all free agents, they could sign them back and then also get it would be like a reverse Gleyber Torres. Right? Like what the Yankees did with Gleyber Torres. They traded Chapman for Gleyber Torres and then signed Chapman back at the end of the year.
Funny thing about Anthony Rizzo's contract, if you look at it on a sports track, he needs a hotel suite on every away game.
Okay.
I could just imagine Anthony Rizzo rolling up to like Dodger Stadium and Gary Sanchez like getting like the twin beds with like Higashioka, and then Anthony Rizzo's like in the hotel suite, like the penthouse or something.
Yeah. But no, and the Cubs, if their plan was like, I'm just going to sacrifice this and try to sign them back up, or at least Anthony Rizzo, because he has expressed that he wants to stay there for life. And you almost saw how upset he was leaving Wrigley Field. Even Kris Bryant, when he found out, I don't know if you saw the video in the dugout. Yeah, he started crying. And Anthony Rizzo spoke about how much he loved being in Chicago, how he felt like a local and all this stuff. If Rizzo goes back to Chicago, if Rizzo goes back to Chicago, Jed Hoyer's plan was let me let these guys go and try to stock up on prospects and then re-sign them at the end, he's playing a dangerous game, because I don't know if you saw how Rizzo was welcomed in Yankee Stadium yesterday. Yankees fans love this guy already, and he's that type of player that fan bases fall in love with. And you could see, like, if he goes on a downward spiral or whatever, that they're going to stick with him because he's that kind of player. Like, he's not like a Giancarlo Stanton. If he falls in love with this Yankee crowd, maybe the Yankees go deep into the postseason or something. Maybe the Yankees bring him back. And at the end of the day, I think players are just going to go where the most money is offered. And
no, yeah, for sure. And Anthony Rizzo, like, again, I'm amazed at the type of player, because he's like that type of player that you never question his ability. Like, you never question whether or not he's maybe taking a day off, maybe taking it easy. He just seems like a guy that you just trust is always going to put like 100% on the field. He said it. He's like, all I can do is try to have fun out there. That allows me to just be me and everything. Mm-hmm. So can't believe the Yankees got him, man.